think I've been listening to a little bit too much Sasquatch Chronicles lately. Every time I go to bed at night, it's like I hear Wes's voice in my head. It's weird. I just started some new shifts at work. They're 10-hour shifts, so I'm working a lot of times by myself. So I just pop in one headphone and turn on a little Sasquatch Chronicles to get me through the night, and I'll end up listening to like 3 episodes a night sometimes. And I am completely burned out. But there's some great stories on it. Great stories. So over the years, I've just never really had time to sit down and listen to Sasquatch Chronicles or any kind of podcast show. But I've been really enjoying all the episodes so far. But I've never heard the original episodes, So I started going back and listening to those. And let me tell you, the difference between where it is now and where it was back then is amazing, especially the audio. The audio's gotten a lot better. But I found that the older episodes were really, really good. It seems like, when I'm listening to the episodes now, that it seems like Wes has come a long way from where he first started. And today he seems pretty, cool and calm and maybe more mature in the subject matter. But in the beginning, there was tons of questions. And I'm really enjoying those episodes now because he's asking a lot of questions that I used to ask a lot when I first started doing this stuff. And it's interesting to see the progress of how someone starts off in the Bigfoot subject matter and where they're at now. And I felt like I was really relating to some of the episodes because when I started out, man, I was questioning everything. I was like, I was just, thirsty for knowledge on this stuff. And now, I don't know if it's just, I've been doing this for so long that, things don't seem to excite me as much as they used to. I remember, when I first started doing this stuff, going out, I was like, what was that, and why is it this way, and I was asking all these questions, and I was investigating every little twig snap, and just everything. And now I can sit in camp and just listen to wood knocks and crack open a beer and cook a hot dog over the fire, and I don't even pay it any attention now. I guess what I'm trying to say is, listening to the show and seeing where, Wes is coming from and seeing the progression over the years, the difference, I related a lot to it. And I'll just show you something. Even though I was doing this a couple years prior before I started, keeping a journal. For example, this is a journal from 2013, and see how nice and thick it is? I wrote down everything, and I documented everything, and this is my journal for 2019, 2020, and the present 2021. See the difference? Big difference. There's just, I just don't, feel the need to question or document certain things because it's not important anymore. I was remembering a couple years ago when when I was invited to shoot that first documentary, Bigfoot Encounters in the Pacific Northwest with Extreme Expeditions Northwest. We were out camping at this one location, and I don't know, I think it was probably our third or fourth night there, and I remember sitting by the campfire, and I was drinking a beer, and I was writing in my journal, and we were hearing wood knocks. We were hearing a lot of wood knocks when we were out there, and I was just enjoying my beer and just filling out my journal, and it seemed like everybody else was like looking around and taking it all in, and I can't remember the exact words of how the conversation started, but Beans, up from Alaska, a Sasquatch, he made a comment to me, and it always stayed with me. He says, "How many wood knocks does it take for you to become desensitized to them?" And that comment really kind of stuck with me, and because at that time I didn't realize I wasn't really paying much attention to the wood knocks, because I'm just so used to hearing them around here. But his comment stayed with me, and it's always stayed with me. And when I go out, whenever I do hear a wood knock, I always think of his comment. So I guess, the longer you do this and the more you experience this kind of stuff, I guess you do become desensitized to it. It's like now, when things do happen, I mean, I still get excited, but man, the flies are bad out here. I gotta move. Like, let's say, for example, we find tracks. Tracks are cool to find. But instead of me just like getting all excited about, wow, we got tracks here, look at the size of them, the first thing that pops in my head is like, okay, I got tracks. And the first questions that pop in my head are, okay, where are you coming from? And where are you going? And then I ask, why did you walk through here? Why this area? When you have all the forest to walk in, why did you choose this area to walk through? What makes this area so important? And I'm more curious about why this area, why it's in this area, instead of, hey, found Bigfoot tracks, he went this way. Instead of, I want to know why this environment is so important. There has to be a reason for tracks to be found in this area. So why did the creature come in this area? Why? I'm more interested in the why of the environment than what made the tracks. And vocalizations they're still cool, but I've heard several different types of screams and howls and stuff like that. And now when I hear it, unless it's like right on top of us, if it's like, half a mile or more out, it's still exciting, but it's just like, okay, the scream's coming from, I don't know, northwest. Why are you coming from that direction? Why are you in that area? Makes me want to go investigate the northwest direction and find out why something is screaming over there, And I also analyze, what were we doing prior to the scream? Were we making some kind of noise? Were we cooking? Was there music going? Was there something that provoked the scream? And I start, I'm not just like, oh my gosh, there's a scream, we got one. It's now like, why are you over there? see, when it comes to Sasquatch, Bigfoot, wild man, hairy man, whatever you want to call it, I used to wonder what it was. You know, I used to think, oh yeah, it's definitely, you know, undiscovered ape. But now I don't necessarily feel like that's really what it is. And then I started thinking, oh, the tracks seem so human. You know, they don't look like a typical primate track, you know. They look too human. So I started thinking, you know, maybe these things are part human. But then I'm thinking, you know, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just completely something totally different. Something that is just off the charts and we haven't discovered it yet. And it's just something completely different that we just can't wrap our minds around. And then I realized you can waste so much time. I've seen it in the chat rooms. I've seen it on all these different social media sites. Everyone debating what Bigfoot is, instead of asking the real question, where is Bigfoot? It's like, you know what? Let's just stop speculating on what Bigfoot is, what it could be, and prove the damn thing real first. Then ask those questions. Because in listening to Sasquatch Chronicles, you know, he always asks the guests, you know, so what do you think Bigfoot is? And there's a variety of different answers. But you know what? I would say I have no freaking clue what it is. And I don't care. I do not care what it is. I just want to see it. And another thing I find interesting is in the shows where people are like, I just don't understand why people, you know, want to go out looking for this thing. They want to experience this. It's like we have a death wish. I don't have no death wish. I just have curiosity. And I'm stubborn also. Nothing is going to convince me hardcore enough until I have a face-to-face encounter. Now, I've seen some stuff on my FLIR, but even that is not good enough. Even though the objects in my FLIR were much larger than a human. I don't know. I guess I'm just rambling now. But I guess my journey now is turning into more about the environment. Why is there so much activity in a certain area and not in another? So this year I'm going to step up my game. I'm going to start documenting all the vegetation that I find. I have water testing, several water testing kits. So I am going to be taking samples from lakes, streams, ponds, and I'm going to be analyzing the water samples and seeing what type of bacteria is in it, you know, oxygen levels, stuff like that. Stuff that I've experimented with before, and I'm thinking about letting you guys see the real stuff that we do out here. Most stuff you don't see the hours of hiking. You don't see, you know, the groundwork of checking out, you know, the actual environment that we're in. So I think I might start letting you guys see all the type of research work that we do. Because it's not just going out into the woods, going hiking, going camping. It's now studying the environment and more documenting the wildlife, where they're moving through, analyzing their scat, digging through that crap. there's just a variety of stuff that we do that you guys just don't see on camera or on YouTube. So yeah, so that's what I plan on doing. I still got lots of questions, but I'm definitely taking my research in a different direction. I guess more scientifically, I guess. But I don't know. But if you guys if you guys do get a chance, and I know a lot of you do, listen to some of the older episodes of Sasquatch Chronicles and compare them to the new ones. It's intriguing. It's really interesting, and it's just really interesting. So with that, I got at least a mile and a half to get back to my rig, so I'm going to be letting you guys go because I'm thirsty, I'm hot, and I'm ready to get back to my car. So have a good one, and I'll catch you guys later.